Welcome to the Mondo, not a one, but two bedroom tiny house. What's up everyone, I'm Steven here with Tiny House Listings, and today we're going to quickly take you through a tour of this beautiful two bedroom Mondo, which is the largest tiny house we offer. Actually the largest tiny house you can offer, which is about 400 square feet. So here we go. A very cool feature about this tiny house, as we featured in previous videos, it has the metal siding. A lot of our customers elect for this particular siding because it's very, very heavy duty and it looks nice. It almost looks like a wood grain texture, and there's so many different colors that you can choose from. This customer also elected for an accent wall, which is also metal. And this is a 50-year product, and it just looks really good. So I just want to quickly mention this area where you see the roof pitch change. This is the second bedroom. So this makes it 40 feet long and 10 feet wide. Now, we mentioned this in previous videos, but this may be your first time being introduced to the Mondo. If you don't elect for this second bedroom and you go from here forward, it's a 32-foot home. So then you simply just add on the last 8 feet and then you have your second bedroom. So not too long ago, we switched over from a scissor corner jack to this type of jack, and we really like it. And the main reason is, a lot of times when your tiny house gets to its location, it needs to be leveled before you kind of block it off. And these are really good for that. So if one side needs to be lifted higher than the other, they're strong enough to lift that side up, get your blocks under, shim it out, do whatever you need to do. The scissor jacks that we used before would kind of bottom out. They didn't have enough strength to support, especially a tiny house this size. I want to quickly mention the mini split that we use on this particular home, and it's a 240 volt. And the reason we jump up from a 240 volt mini split versus a 120 in other smaller homes is that it needs to be a dual zone. This one has a bedroom that's completely closed off from the rest of the house, and that needs to be conditioned when the door is closed. So the thing about that is you have to have a 50 amp plug if you were to buy this particular model versus a 30 amp. And 50 amp is plenty of power. Okay, so now we're inside the Mondo, and again, this is a two bedroom tiny house, and we're in the living room now. Now, the way this is set up, you can obviously do it the way you want if you buy one, but this is where most people put their entertainment center. They put the TV over here, and it works out really well. And then as you come over here, you can basically set up however you want. You could put a desk here. When you come over here, you can put your couch. You could do multiple sitting arrangements with a side table. Lots of different configurations. You can do it basically any way you want, but this is a very, very large living room, especially by tiny house standards, so there's plenty of room to stretch out. So if you look up top, you'll see that the roof is a pre-finished roof, and it's really nice because it's zero maintenance, it's maintenance free. And there's also a spot where a ceiling fan is gonna go. Now the customer on this particular one wanted to install the fan when it gets to its location, and we recommend that a lot of times because a house this big can shake going down the road, and it could shake your ceiling fan off, actually, or cause damage. But this is really, really nice. And the thing about these Mondos, they have multi-pitch roofs. So as you look down the tiny house, it's very interesting because there's every 10 feet, every 15 feet or so, the roof line changes and it just looks really nice. So now we are in the kitchen area. As you can see, beautiful double window, which is nice because if you're sitting here cooking or just hanging out, you can see out, lots of visibility. Stainless steel sink, which is a matte gray. I like this style because it's very modern. So these kitchen cabinets can come in multiple colors. You can do different color hardware if you want. They picked the black, which I think looks really nice. When they said black, I was like, hold on, but when we put it in, it looks really good. So, because everything else is black too, like the faucets. When you come down here, you got the black countertop. They wanted butcher block for the countertop. We also offer a white quartz, which is completely up to you if you decide you want one. Got your GFI outlet. We can do a hood range here if you want, where it vents everything out. This customer didn't elect for that. They're just gonna open the windows. As you come down just a little bit farther, huge pantry. Forgive the tape. This one's about to get shipped. And we do that to prevent any damage while it's being shipped. But this is plenty of room for food and all your dishes and things like that. So there's huge kitchen by tiny house standards. When you come down farther, we actually increased the size of this area recently, because before, the only size tiny refrigerator you could put here is a 10.1 cubic feet. Now you can go to a much larger full size refrigerator, and so that can be plenty of groceries, enough for a week's worth of groceries for two people. So now we are in the bathroom, which again, large by tiny house standards is full. This is basically the size of a full size house bathroom. But we use the PVC interlocking tiles, love those, waterproof. We use a humidistat, so whenever the bathroom or the house itself reaches a certain humidity, boom, kicks in, vents it out. Also, the mini split, I'd have to mention, is dual zone, but it also has a dehumidifying function. So if you want to turn that on to get humidity out of the house, absolutely can do that. So you have two ways to control the humidity. If you come over here, we've got a flush toilet and a huge vanity. It goes the entire width of the tiny house bathroom, and it's a vessel sink on top. Really love that. Most of our customers elect to put their own medicine cabinet or mirror because we just don't like shipping the tiny house with that on, because no matter what you do, it finds a way to find its way off the wall. So we do that. But then again, flush toilet, very large tiny house bathroom, and it also has a pocket door for privacy. And now we're in the master bedroom, which also has a pocket door for privacy, just like the other bedroom, which you'll see in a second. But the master bedroom is about 100 square feet, very large bedroom, and it has windows all around. Double window over here, window here, so there's plenty of room. Most people put their bed on this side, which it accommodates a queen size bed. Then you can also have room for a side table. And then if you come over this way, you'll notice that it has a full on closet. So most people decide to put a closet system here themselves, but if they want, they can ship it to us, or let us know which one they want, and we'll put that in there for them as well. Also has a separate light. Then when you come over here, this is where your washer and dryer goes. We like to put the washer and dryer in the bedroom, because if you're ever in the living room hanging out or whatever, you can close the pocket door and it makes it a little bit quieter. Look at a lot of tiny homes, they put the washer and dryer in the kitchen area. So you're basically washing your clothes in the same space that you're living, so it doesn't really work out that well. Kind of loud. But then again, as you can see again, this is the mini split for the bedroom area. And you also have a separate mini split in the living area. The reason we also put one in here as well is when the pocket door's closed, it still conditions the bedroom itself. So that's a really nice feature. All right, so that is it for the master bedroom. Now we're gonna take you over to the secondary bedroom. Okay, so now we are in the secondary bedroom, and a lot of people use this bedroom as an office, like if you work from home, or if they have a small family, you could put a bunk bed in here, you could put a single bed, it depends on how you want. This tiny house is actually going to the mountains of North Carolina, about 4,000 feet up, so it's gonna be a really cold climate. And that's the great thing about these tiny homes. They're built to pretty much go anywhere in the continental United States. But as you can see, this bedroom also has another double window and a window over there, so 3 windows, lots of light. I don't know how many windows are in this house, but a lot. And the customer wanted to have a closet built in over here, which is very nice. And this will be good for storage or whatever it is you want. And another feature we do on these bedrooms is this also has a remote. As you can see here, this allows cold and hot air to circulate from the main area, from the living room next door, which is a very nice feature. And you can do it from a remote control. And that is enough to keep it hot and cool in here. But you could easily put a queen size bed in here if you want. I'd recommend a full size bed so you have more room. You could do a desk area over there, but this is also almost 100 square feet, this bedroom as well. Also above, if you look, there's another outlet up there, and that is for the ceiling fan, just like in the other room. And so the customers wanted ceiling fans to help circulate air, and a lot of people just love ceiling fans. All right, so that completes the tour of the 2-bedroom Mondo. And one thing I failed to mention earlier is that all of our tiny homes, and this one as well, is certified ANSI 119.5, which means on paper it's a park model, but it also means that it can go pretty much in any campground, most campgrounds, and definitely in just about any tiny house community around the country. And speaking around the country, this tiny house can be shipped anywhere around the country. We have transport companies that will come and pick it up, and some of them even set it up for you. A tiny house like this can be built in about 8 weeks. That's our current build time. And this tiny home is actually financeable. So if you're interested and want to learn more, you can go to tinyhouselistings.build. You can see all the models you can click. Also, you can email us at build@tinyhouselistings.com. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.